Then we move to a recap video of Randy Orton and Beth Phoenix and history of Randy Orton. There's a history with the WWE and his friendship with Edge and what they've accomplished together. This is all leading to, of course, the big promise that at the end of the night, Edge is going to be making his return to address what Randy Orton did to Beth Phoenix the week before. But before we get to that, we've got to get to ourselves to a random tag team match between the Kabuki Warriors, Natalya, and Liv Morgan. It seems like the trend for Natalya is let's team her up with any blonde girl on the roster and see if she could form a tag team with them and make her take the loss. And I don't know. So the Kabuki Warriors took on Natalya and Liv Morgan, the blondies we'll call them. Kabuki Warriors won, as expected. No one should be surprised about that. They were victorious in their non-tag team title match, making them look dominant and making the Kabuki Warriors, giving them the win that they needed heading into Mania. And as tag team women's champions, they should be taking the victories in non-title matches and not constantly losing. We don't need to do your usual, oh, they lost, so I guess that means that they're going to defend their tag titles the following week. So the Kabuki Warriors cut a weird promo that no one ever understands, saying that they're baddest women on the planet, they're not afraid of anyone. Asuka's in the ring dancing for some strange reason, especially after the fact that she was beaten by Shayna Baszler the night before in an Elimination Chamber match. She was embarrassed, but there she is dancing and having herself a good time. Remember at the Royal Rumble, or prior to Royal Rumble, when Asuka's gimmick was she would spit green mist in people's faces? Yeah. Neither do I. I don't know what happened to that. That's disappeared. She just has green on her face now. So Asuka defeats Natalya and Liv Morgan. I guess we're going to be heading towards Asuka and the Kabuki Warriors taking on Twisted Bliss. To me, that seems like it's the next logical choice. We reunited the tag team champs. We had them compete in a tag team match for the first time in several weeks. And it looks like we're going to be heading to finding some challengers for these two at WrestleMania. And hopefully it's not Liv Morgan and Natalya, and hopefully we stop playing matchmaker with Natalya. Natalya is a great women's wrestler. She's one of the best in the business. Liv Morgan is trying to find her own, and her lack of gimmick makes it an issue because we're not sure what she is or who she is or what's the story going on. But hopefully we do figure that out at some point, and hopefully Liv Morgan finds her own in the women's roster because we need to build more women's stars. You can't just be relying on Kairi Sane, Asuka, Natalya, Becky Lynch, and now Shayna Baszler and Charlotte. You gotta have more than 5 people, right? You gotta have more than 5 wrestlers that you can rely on as your go-to girls, and if at any moment you need someone to put a title on. So the Kabuki Warriors win their tag match. So following that match, out comes AJ Styles to address the audience on what happened the night before, and to address the Undertaker's interference in his matchup against Aleister Black. AJ cuts a hell of a promo. AJ was ferocious in this one. He addressed the Undertaker by his real name, Mark Calloway. He addressed the Undertaker's real-life home issues and his wife. We could say he broke kayfabe, but in a day and age where Instagram and Twitter and Facebook make it available, and the Undertaker has an account on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and we see from time to time his daily routine, and we know who he is as a human, and he's not actually the character anymore. Kayfabe for Taker has been broken for quite some time. But this was good. This was a good promo because it had that right aggression, the same aggression that I said that Becky Lynch had, where we're not just building a random matchup between Taker and AJ, where it's streak versus phenomenal one. This is AJ Styles making it clear, hey Taker, you're taking away time from young talent. AJ is now attacking the fact that Undertaker, your constant random appearance here and there, you're taking away time and you're taking away spots for the younger talent where they should be making a name for himself. You've made your name. You had your 20, 30 years in the business. Just retire. Give it up. There's nothing left for you to accomplish, and you're not going to get any better. You're old, you're broken down, and you can't hack it anymore with the young guns. What a promo. Has anyone ever told that to The Undertaker before? Hey, you can't handle it anymore? You can't hack it anymore? Just get the fuck out of the way? No. Over the years, Taker's had these goofy matches where people were trying to break his streak, People were trying to just put an end to an era. People were just trying to make a name for themselves, but no one ever addressed the fact, the elephant in the room, that yes, Taker's appearance each and every single year in Mania does take away from the young talent trying to make a name for themselves. And to have AJ Styles address Undertaker by his real name was the right way to go about it. Make it a shoot style, make it real, make it seem personal, make it different from the rest of the storylines going on at Mania. And AJ challenged Taker to a WrestleMania matchup. For those of you who didn't know that there was going to be a matchup between AJ and Undertaker, well, now you know. AJ made it clear, AJ made it official. At WrestleMania, I want you, Undertaker. I want you, Deadman, because I'm going to bury you. I'm going to put the final nail in your coffin. I'm going to close the coffin, I'm going to close the casket, and I'm going to bury you alive. And I'm going to make it clear that you no longer belong here in the WWE. What a promo. What a pro AJ is. If this doesn't get you excited for their matchup at WrestleMania, maybe in a couple of weeks, Undertaker's appearance and what Taker does, we'll do it for you. But for me, this was it. The reality of it all and the truth of it all was enough for me to want to see this match, even more than I initially wanted to. AJ's a great, and no pun intended, phenomenal in-ring competitor. And him and Taker could have a solid matchup. He'll be able to have a safe and solid match with Taker, and he'll be able to carry the matchup with Taker. I'm not saying Taker needs to be carried, but I'm just saying that in terms of some stiff match where Taker's going to get hurt, this is not the kind of match where Taker's going to get hurt, unless AJ Styles clashes him on his head, which is unlikely. This is the matchup that could steal the show in terms of fans' response. So AJ's promo was great. I can't wait to see where this leads. Hopefully this doesn't lead to a random tag team match. Hopefully this sticks to a one-on-one match. If you want to add a gimmick like a buried alive match or a casket match, I'm fine with that. So far there's no gimmick matches announced for WrestleMania, so maybe this matchup could do with a gimmick match. Maybe this matchup between Undertaker and AJ could be that. Why not? I could see that happening. Taker and AJ in a gimmick match. I mean, AJ picks up the victory, officially closing the casket on Undertaker. Officially closing the casket. We never know. He could come back next year. It's always a possibility. It's always up to Undertaker, right? If he wants to wrestle or not. I love the promo. I thought AJ had enough conviction in him for me to believe that he has a chance to beat Undertaker at WrestleMania. I can't wait to see next week Undertaker's response, because he's going to be live in Pittsburgh along with Stone Cold Steve Austin on 3/16 day. So I'm interested to see what we get off of this promo next week from The Undertaker. Will it just be a video vignette, or will Undertaker make an appearance? Will he actually say something rather than just, AJ, you're a dead man walking? We'll see next week, because so far AJ, he's carrying the storyline and he's doing a fantastic job in doing so. So then out comes Riddick Moss, followed by Cedric Alexander for the WWE 24/7 title. Riddick Moss picks up the victory. Cedric Alexander loses another match. Cedric's just been on a losing streak since he lost to AJ for the United States title several months ago. Riddick seems like to be their guy that they're pushing to the moon. He's got the physique. He's got the look. He seems to have the decent amount of talent. It's just a question of, does he have the longevity in this business? Guys like Cedric Alexander and Ricochet have the longevity. They've got the style, they've got the athleticism, they've got the charisma in the ring, and they've got the high-flying nature that you know they're going to be in this business for a long time. But guys like Riddick Moss, they come and they go. They're what we call an experiment. They either work and they get over and they improve in the ring and they end up being the next big thing, or they just fail and disappear and fall to the wayside. And Cedric and Ricochet continue to be those guys that just wrestle every day, every night, and stick with the company. So Riddick Moss picks up another victory, defending his 24/7 title on Monday Night Raw. And this is where I came up with the idea where if we're gonna have this title on Monday Night Raw and treat it like a fourth title for Monday Night Raw, why doesn't SmackDown grab a title? Let's have ourselves a TV title. There's a lot of guys on SmackDown that deserve a world title or the IC title, but they're never going to get it. So a TV title would elevate these guys to the next level. Guys like Cesaro, Shinsuke, Sami Zayn, even though he's the IC title now. I know I keep repeating the same guys. Someone from the Revival, the New Day. Big E, even for that example. Big E, give Big E the WWE TV title. These guys, give them something that they could use for the future and potentially grow on to become IC or World Champion. So I would love to see a fourth title, another secondary title on SmackDown. If we're going to have the 24/7 title defended weekly on Raw, why not have a TV title on SmackDown as well? So following the Cedric Alexander-Riddick Moss squash match, we come back from commercial where MVP is standing in the ring and he's discussing how he's starting to transition from being a competitor in the ring to now a managerial role, and he's looking for the next hot, hip and happening talent that he could push to the moon, skyrocket to the next level, and bring their career upwards. I was interested. I thought, wonder who he could work with. He could elevate a lot of guys. Like Jake the Snake will be able to elevate potentially Lance Archer. I think MVP, if taken seriously, could elevate a wrestler. And then he mentions Edge's name, and I was at that moment I knew he was just there to take a beating and probably get speared by Edge. So MVP stands there in the ring, waiting for Edge to come, and of course, in typical WWE fashion, Edge arrives. Edge manages to arrive at the right time, at the right moment, when there's no match happening in the ring, and there's just an open space for him to return. I would love to see a guy being promoted like Edge returns tonight, or someone returns tonight, and they arrive during a match, and then just cause all holy hell in the ring, and destroying the guys in the ring, and then cutting his promo, rather than Edge just happening to park his truck and walk in the arena at the right time that MVP was giving a promo. We can make this a bit more realistic than it actually is, no? It's not that hard. So MVP cuts a fine promo. He's great on the mic. He's fun to listen to. But once he addresses the fact that he's trying to recruit Edge, I gave up. I was like, this is stupid. We know he's not. So who gives a shit? So Edge arrives. Edge comes out, calls out Orton, ignores the fact that MVP is there. MVP makes it clear, don't ignore me. I'm standing here. Answer me, Edge. You know you've lost it. Edge turns around, spears MVP. Out comes Orton from behind to attack Edge. Edge and Orton do battle in the ring, trading fisticuffs, trading blows. Eventually, Edge hits Orton with an RKO, his version of the RKO. He heads to the outside of the ring, grabs two chairs, throws them in the ring. Edge rolls out, Orton rolls out, escaping before Edge is able to attack him with the two chairs. Now, I don't know if I'm just looking too much into things or if it was because Edge was overly dressed, but I felt the way he hit that RKO and even the way he hit the spear, I don't know. He seemed off, but he seemed a little stiff. I know he's been out of the ring. He's been out of action for like 9 years, which is normal, but it kind of didn't give me much faith in a matchup with Randy Orton. I know him and Orton is the safest bet. Orton will be able to make sure he doesn't get hurt and keep that match as entertaining as possible. But having seen that, it just frightened me in terms of, Edge may have some ring rust, and we may have not realized that until I just saw that. But I could be looking into things. Who knows? So as Orton rolls out of the ring to escape Edge's vengeance, Edge decides to take it out on MVP, where he lifts MVP up and hits MVP with an RKO onto the steel chair, and then dismantles MVP with a concerto, leaving him unconscious in the ring. And Edge, and doing the smartest thing I've ever seen in WWE so far, he chases after Orton. Rather than staring at Orton from the ring, he decides to run after Orton and chase him to the backstage area. Charlie Caruso catches up with Edge, asking him, obviously, what are your feelings? And Edge is like, where's Orton? Charlie tells him, he's left the building. He's no longer here. And then we just have Edge looking into the camera or looking off in the distance. Really goofy, really weird. He doesn't say a word after he's told that Randy Orton left. He's just left standing there, and rather than panning away quickly, he's just standing there, leaving you thinking, okay, what the hell was the point of that? And I made this mention to a friend of mine while I was watching the WWE Raw yesterday, that had Raw ended with Edge chasing Orton in the back after their battle, that would have been the perfect ending for Monday Night Raw. That would have been the perfect way to close a 2-hour show. You had everything done in that 2 hours. You had the Kabuki Warriors looking dominant. You had Becky Lynch coming out and cutting a promo on Shayna Baszler, building up their WrestleMania match. You had Charlotte and Rhea Ripley's confrontation to continue building up their Mania match. You had the Monday Night Messiah attacking Kevin Owens, continuing the feud between Seth Rollins and Kevin Owens. You had Drew McIntyre continuing his win streak and continuing the momentum heading into WrestleMania. You had all your bases covered. Within 2 hours, this show flew by and it covered almost everything you needed to cover heading into Mania.